Hey everyone, welcome to my TED Talk for my Genius Hour project. I want to apologize in advance if I come off seeming awkward and I stutter. I get pretty nervous doing these sorts of stuff, these sorts of videos, presentations, so I just want to apologize for that in advance. So when I first heard about this Genius Hour project, I was a bit skeptical about what to do. I didn't know what to do. But then you know, something just popped in my head looking at all the possibilities. Being able to improve on a talent or a skill you have. So I decided to take a chance to improve on a hobby of mine, which is to draw. I've been a person who's loved to draw ever since I was a kid, ever since I got introduced into the world of superheroes way back ago, back in 2002. Shout out to Sam Raimi's Spider Man. For as long as I could remember, superheroes, it's kind of been my thing. Like I said, ever since 2002, and ever since then, it's grown, it's expanded. It started first off with movies. It branched off to TV shows, cartoons, and eventually, I hit the actual source, the comic books. And I just don't know why, but drawing has always, I've always been drawn to it. Very poor choice of words right there. I apologize. I've always just loved drawing. I don't know. I always found it fun to do, but as a kid, no one really draws that good unless you're actually a spectacular artist. Then you should be going working for Marvel and DC. Yeah. But in all seriousness, like it's something I always loved to do, even when I knew I wasn't particularly good at it. It was more so for me, not for anyone else. It's not like I'm gonna go in a gallery, show my art off. It's nothing worth showing off. The thing is, it just wasn't me who was into the drawing. My brother was into it, and my best friend. The three of us, we used to get together after school, and from time to time, we'd all just sit down and draw something we wanted to, and that was superheroes for the most part. But it would branch off to other stuff like Star Wars, but that's not the point of this conversation. So I've been drawing for years, and as years went by, I obviously got better, but I never really was a big fan of my own work. I always complained about something like some I knew it could be better, but I just honestly never really strived to be better. It wasn't until I hit first year university where something happened in me. In my first year, I changed the style of the way I drew. I used to draw just literally just on the paper, not really letting go, just doing whatever I felt like it. But like around university, I started breaking my work into pieces. I started trying to incorporate shapes, not just doing one line, no breaks. And my work got better for it, but it still wasn't perfect. But slowly, I was getting better progressively. What the funny thing is, like, is I always took breaks from drawing, but whenever I came back from my breaks during this like university time frame, whenever I came back from my hiatuses, I got better. I found it a little bit odd, but at the same time, sometimes when you take your mind off of something after leaving for a while and you get back to it, you sort of you get fresh ideas. You get a new lease on life, per se. I don't know if that's the correct word to say, but I'm rolling with it. So we fast forward to here, to now, to the Genius Hour. And I thought about it after some time, thinking about it as I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation that I'm delivering. I thought about working on aspects of my artwork. So at first, it started off with just going with the flow, and from there, I was tearing apart my art, not like literally ripping the pages, but more so looking at where could I improve, what could benefit from me working on this. And that's when I came up with the idea from looking at my work that I needed to work on the way I drew my legs on my work. and shading, because shading was a thing I used to struggle in high school. Because I remember I took visual arts in high school, and there was like a unit in projects on shading, and I didn't do very good. So that was something else that I wanted to work on, because shading is not something I do a lot of. So I took that opportunity too, and at the same time too, I don't do big pieces. I just do like, when I draw, I do like on corners of papers. The bodies that I draw, they're pretty small. So I also wanted to work on that, work on making bigger bodies. So like kind of drawing on bigger canvases. Like for example, I don't know the size of one of those posters. So from that, I decided that I was gonna attack each week on a different set. So one week would be focusing on working on the legs. So I did this, where I practiced online, and then after I did another week, I was working on shading. So you see here, I did a lot of shading, and then following that, I practiced doing bigger stuff like this. And then from there on, that led me to this bad boy over here. So I could get better at those skills that I noticed that were lacking. I mean, I finished everything I set out to do, and I've been pleasantly surprised with the work I've come out with throughout this whole Genius Hour operation. But I know I can always do better. But the thing I'm proud of is that I was better than how I was before the Genius Hour, and now I want to be better than how I am now at the end of Genius Hour. I'm sorry if that confuses you. Just to put it simply, I'm an individual who strives to be better than the current version of himself. I strive to be better than my current version. So I want to keep doing that, because if you want to be the best you can be, that means you can't improve. So you got to be better than how you are now. That's kind of my philosophy on that, and I plan on still doing that. I hope that I can attack certain areas like I was doing here in the future, but in the future it might be more difficult because it will be a requirement of me. But for my free time, I could try to do what I've been doing with this Genius Hour project and just keep attacking it and be patient and roll with the flow. And thank you for watching this TED Talk. And again, apologies for my awkwardness. Hope you have a good one.